Hey guys, Andrew coming at you. In today's video, I'm going to talk about quitting snooze. Now, the first things first, I'm going to talk about this. If you're anybody, because I know young people watch this and everything else, what I'm going to say to you is this. You know, at some point in your life, someone might offer you to take something that's related to nicotine. I'm going to tell you, I really think you should say no. I can't guarantee, there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee people might become addicted to this stuff. You know, I get that. But if you never try it, you're never putting yourself in a situation where you would use nicotine, whether it be cigarettes, snus, an e-cig, or anything else. I mean, if you talk to anybody that's addicted to these things and you ask them if they would want their kids to use this substance, or everyone's going to say no. Or if someone, you know, I would say if you talk to anyone that's addicted to snus, it's the same deal. They're probably not going to suggest that someone else should become addicted to snus. So here's my story. I grew up in college, and in college I used cigarettes every once in a while and chewing tobacco, American chewing tobacco every once in a while. It's something I would do when I studied. Necessarily wasn't a daily guy at using it, but I did use it off and on. And when I came to Sweden and saw that there was Swedish Snus, again, it kind of fulfilled my need to do this every once in a while. Well, as it became readily available and snus you could put in your upper lip and you didn't have to spit, I began using it more and more and more. Now, I would get addicted to it, try to quit, get addicted to it, try to quit, and you know, every time I quit, and this is thinking about even in past with nicotine, I always had in the back of my mind this thought that, I can always do it again if I want to, or I'll go back and maybe do it again if I want to. And so what happened was, every time I quit, maybe a month in or so, I would have it for one day, then not take it, and then have it for a month. Now looking back, I realized I wasn't never giving my brain a chance to like fully heal from the nicotine. And all it takes is that little bit of a hit, and you start to feel the nicotine again and everything else. But something kind of changed in me as I was getting older and getting to be 30. It was harder for me to, and I've said this in previous videos, to stay in shape. It was harder for me to be able to run like I used to run. And one thing I started to get was these like heart palpitations with running or just laying in bed at night, because I enjoy my coffee and I was doing a lot of snooze. And I just think that combination plus running, it just wasn't the best combo for my heart. And so as I realized I was getting closer to 30, I set an exact date that I wanted to start cutting out bad habits. I cut out a habit before this. Then I was like, let me work on snooze for this particular week. I'm going to do this because I no longer want to do it. The difference this time around, and first let me say this, I get that snooze is safer than cigarettes. I mean, I'll agree with that. And there are probably some people that'll quit snooze or quit cigarettes by using snooze. I get that as well. But still, to me, there's still a risk. I mean, even if it's a small risk for pancreatic cancer, I get that. But for me, it's just the overall being addicted to something when it's not giving you any nutritional value. It's like, okay, let's say that if you took all the studies of Swedish Snus together, you're still addicted to it. It raises your blood pressure a little bit, and there might be other links after that. So I say it's better not to try this and have anything bad happen to you. So anyways, as I kept using snus, what's different this time around is I've had it really click in my brain as far as, hey, I'm not going to use this stuff anymore. Because I remember distinctly, like a month or two ago, being home, looking at a can of snus, seeing I only had like 2 or 3 snoozes left, leaving my house at like 9:30 at night to go to a gas station to pick up snus, so I had it for the next day because I didn't want to run out. I wanted to have it. And that's when you realize at a certain point, it's controlling you. It's telling you you need this to function. And you almost lie to yourself and you say that you need this to function. Oh, I need this. Or I remember times in the past where I quit and I felt myself kind of gaining a little bit of weight and feeling like, oh my gosh, the little bit of nicotine keeps me thin. But really, is that healthy? Absolutely not. For me, this has always been my dirty little secret that I do that just isn't healthy. And it's because I'm addicted to it. It's because it's a hard thing to quit. What really shifted in my brain, though, is realizing that it literally does nothing for you. It's not really relieving stress. If I don't have snooze, I'm stressed. It's not really calming me down. Again, it's going through the withdrawals. It's a waste of money. I mean, the amount of money I'm spending on it is just silly and stupid. And that's another thing. When I got good at saving money, I realized how dumb this just was. But mostly, I just hate that it controls me. I hate that I feel like I need to have it. I hate the anxiety of having to have it with me constantly and having to score and constantly buy it. And those are the big things. And the health effects alone, like, you know, what is it doing to me long term? It's not a good thing. It does raise my blood pressure a little bit. Yeah, I exercise and run, but how would I be if I just quit? So, you know, I'm going through all those things right now. What I'll tell you is there are times I quit where my withdrawal was really bad. I felt terrible. But when I shifted to this point, I'll tell you, I'm day 3 right now, and I haven't had any snus. Now, am I antsy? Yeah. Do I feel a little bit bad? Yeah. But I haven't really thought about snus. I haven't thought about having to have nicotine. Maybe every once in a while I get a craving, of course, where I'll wake up. But never at one point have I felt like I'm missing out on anything. I'm just like, no. Spending money on it, stupid. Okay, so I have a headache. Okay, whatever. It's just telling me what a trap this was to get into and how bad it was. So I'm doing this. Now, when I post this video, it's going to be probably a week or 2 after I quit, because I don't want to put this up while I'm kind of going through it. I want to explain where I was afterwards. And the thing is, I went on YouTube. I checked so many videos of people talking about how they felt. And the truth is, a lot of people go, oh my gosh, like today's day 1. Oh, I just really want one. Day 2, oh my gosh, it's heck. Day 3. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't feel the greatest today. But I'm going to go to the gym and exercise. And if you would have told me day 3, I would have been able to do that off of snus, I would have said you're crazy because of previous times. The truth is, for some reason, this time it's much easier. And I was using more snus and more nicotine than I ever had in my whole entire life. But that mental shift of just knowing it was not worth it, for some reason, I don't know if that's the reason why, but I'm just in such a better headspace that I'm calm. I don't have a lot of urges. I'm not crazy stressed. I picked a time when I didn't have a lot of responsibilities to do this, and I'm totally doing this fine. So this video is for people out there that are thinking about quitting, or, you know, go for it. I mean, of course, maybe I'll upload a video a month or 2 from now, but I mean, again, what am I going to say, really? Oh my gosh, like, I want it, but I got a little bit of a tiny headache. So what? I mean, this thought that I'm not going to enjoy life ever, I mean, that's how you feel when you're addicted. You're like, oh my gosh, I'll never enjoy life again. I'm always going to want this. I'm just going to live in a state of not being happy. I just see this as the exact opposite. I no longer want to be controlled by something. I don't want to no longer lie to myself and say I need something to function. Of course I don't. It's silly. You don't need it to survive. So, but it's going to take time, obviously, for your brain to adjust to not needing it and for the receptors and things like that to change. But I'm not craving it. I'm really not hardcore craving snus or anything. I'm just feeling like I have a headache. I'm just feeling a little bit out of it. It's a little bit harder to think. It's not so bad. And this is supposed to be the pivotal day where things are going to start to get better. So that's the case. And again, before I end this video, I'm just going to say, if you're younger, someone might offer you something at some point. I suggest you say no. Because you don't know if you could become addicted to something. And by not trying it, you're putting yourself in a situation where you're never going to go through that. Because again, I'm going to say, anyone that's addicted to cigarettes, chewing tobacco, or even Swedish Snus, they would probably not want their children to do it, their kids to do it, and they probably won't want other people to be a part of it. It's not a good thing overall. It's something that I got into. It was a bad habit when I first came to Sweden that I started up. And never at any point when I was addicted did I say, wow, this was so worth it. Oh, I loved it. No, I was addicted. And I can't pinpoint the places where I became addicted. It was, you know, there's somewhere in that fine line where you're doing it because you think you enjoy it. And then, uh-oh, you're addicted. And it happens out of nowhere. And if you're not ready for it, and it happens, it's a terrible situation. So here's my video on this. I just wanted to be honest with the world. I'm done with this. I feel great. It's day 3. I didn't die from not using it. I do feel better. And oh my gosh, it's just a headache. It's okay. Life is going to move on. First world problems, you know, whatever. It's okay. So if you're someone in this situation, realize that, hey, if I could talk like this on day 3 and actually feel generally happy, maybe you will too if you quit. And you're right. Maybe Swedish Snus isn't the end of the world as far as health stuff, but wouldn't it be better to save money? Wouldn't it be better to not be addicted to something that your body really doesn't need? Wouldn't it be better overall to not have that slight risk of pancreatic cancer, or now I can see a risk of type 2 diabetes? Wouldn't it be better to just live your life that way and not need that? I think it would. Alright guys, thanks for watching my video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.